What is going on, my friends? What is up? This is Dave Sharpe, and I am thrilled to be with you here today with not only just the presence of Wake Up Legendary in your life, okay? And I'm going to actually get the party started with some proper noises, because this is going to be a party this morning. And if you don't think so, just stick around because it is every morning. Tune in 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Wake Up Legendary, Monday through Friday. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our expert spotlight guest now. This young lady is a wonderful addition on our team here, and somebody who every single day is helping our clients and who has an amazing journey herself. So with that being said, Bonnie King, what is up?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
I am fantastic. So you are coming to us from where? Somewhere up in Canada, is that right?
Toronto, home of the
Okay.
Raptors.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Toronto, Raptors, Drake, right?
Yep.
These are some of the things that are popular. Now, I was just in Toronto last year, and I was amazed by how civil things seemed around there. Was that just an illusion, or is it really just that kind of quiet and peaceful and civil?
I would say for the most part, yeah, it's pretty quiet and civil. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
We're known as a smaller New York City,
right.
but with a Canadian attitude, right?
Yeah, for sure. I had some great cuisine, and that's one of the benefits of this lifestyle, is being able to travel. And I hope that each one of you guys has not only a bucket list of destinations that you want to go to, but also sticks with this long enough to where you can be location independent if you want, meaning that you can travel. Yesterday on the show, we had somebody who spent several years traveling around the world, and it was actually a lot more affordable than he thought. But Toronto was on my wife's list, and she actually went up there, Bonnie, and got a tattoo from a girl up there in one of the tattoo shops. So that
Excellent,
was,
excellent. Yep, we are. We do have several of those. A lot of and tattooing becoming so mainstream now
yeah.
over the last several years. I'm a big fan myself, so
Oh,
yeah, we have several very reputable parlors that they do awesome work. So I'm
yeah.
so glad to hear that.
Yeah. It was her birthday present, so I flew her up there, and we had a great time. Um,
Nice.
so let's talk about this amazing and weird world of online marketing, and where you came from, how you got involved. Take us back, just whether it be way back or just a little bit back, whatever makes the most sense, to make it to help us understand how you even fell into this. Was it by accident? Was it on purpose? How did you even get started in the online marketing world in the first place?
Well, I'll tell you, I certainly appreciate the young lady comment at the beginning because how I fell into the space. I actually have a 25-year corporate history. So for 25 years, I built a career in sales, loved it. It was great. And I had built this career over time. Unfortunately, as a parent as well, building that type of career,
Mm,
as we were all sort of born and raised to do, you go to school, you get good grades, you
mm,
find a good job,
mm,
you build a career. I missed a lot of firsts as a parent.
mm.
A single parent as well. My daughter was in daycare at 7 in the morning. I was coming home often at 7 at night building this career. And I started to come into the personal development space about 10 years ago because in the corporate environment, you always have those negative Nellies around you. And I thought, I'm not going to fall into that. I need to figure out how to shift my mindset a little bit to live the best positive life I can and set the best example for my family. And over time, continuing to build my career, I was very successful at it. And a few years ago, I put together this little business case because I had finished, top of my team for an extended period of time, and I went into the president's office. I had this little business plan built. Here's what I'd like to get a raise. Here's why.
Mm.
And he said, no. And I thought, that's when it clicked. What am I doing? I've just invested so much time, 25 years building this career, and there has to be something better. There has to be something out there. So like most people, I Googled online, what can I do? I'm going to change my life. I'm going to start a second career. I have no idea what I'm going to do. And, shiny object syndrome falls into place. You find a couple of things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nothing transpired. And I thought, I am not giving up. I am not staying there. And then I found you. And I'll never forget the first time I watched the first video in the 15-day challenge. I was like, oh my gosh, this is my guy. These are my people. He's talking. I honestly felt like when I was watching the video, you were speaking directly to me. And it resonated so well. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I have to do. I have to come into the online marketing space. And that's how it all started.
It's so fascinating. You and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I feel like I can, just because of that, what you just said. You sort of felt so in love with not only online marketing, but also our community and what we were doing and how we were impacting people, that you said, I want to turn around and help people have the same breakthrough. And if they're not having that same breakthrough that I had, because it seemed like it instantly clicked. Some people, when they come and begin going through our process, they're skeptical, or they've been burned, or they feel like they've been burned. And so maybe they might need some help getting the perspective that you got. But anyways, you fell so in love with the entire process and what we were doing. You said, hey, is there any way that I can be more involved in that? That created the partnership to where you came in and began advising a lot of our clients. How many people would you say out of 10 are come in and feel underappreciated, underpaid, overworked, and that's one of the main driving factors that they want to create a new career, second income stream, etc.?
I would say 10.
Okay.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Typically, that's what you find when I engage with the family here at Legendary and the people coming into our community. I also ask them too, what it is that resonates so much with them when they come in, because of course, most people are skeptical. I was skeptical. I had been burnt like everybody else. It's the family community. It's now I feel like I'm a part of something much bigger than myself. And so for me, the most rewarding part of the partnership was I absolutely get to help other people understand that our family community is like none other. It's like Disneyland, the happiest place on earth at Legendary.
Yeah. Well, in the word community is sort of an ambiguous term, and it means a lot of different things. It could be a community in a little Amish town in Pennsylvania, or it could be an online community in a Facebook group. But what I've seen over the last many years in Legendary and many years in this industry is people actually create entire new circles. Like some find love. That's not the goal. Mostly, you get an entirely new set of not only friends, but also people to watch. And it's almost like, I guess, to use a term that's super simple, is like you reinvent your news feed. Now, all of a sudden, instead of whatever, politics or nitpicking or just people that are sharing cooking videos or whatever, now all of a sudden you begin to get sort of inundated with all of this new empowering information about free thinking, financial independence, making money online, all these different concepts. And for, I think, so many people, it's like, where was this all my life? Did you have that sort of did it make that sort of an impact on you? Like, why wasn't I taught this before? I wish I would have found this decades ago.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And everyone that I talk to, that is one of the main parts of my story is, oh my gosh, if this was available or if I had have found this 10, 15 years ago, first of all, I wouldn't have to pay for my daughter's university education because I would have taught her how to do it and she could pay for it herself. But there's so many things that I wish I had have started this many, many years ago, or it had have been as available as it is today, let's say.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that now, and it was touched on, I think in Quentin's, when Quentin was with you yesterday, I very rarely watch the news. Even during this whole pandemic, I'm so far disconnected from anything negative because I have so much more positivity, and my day-to-day focus, how I spend my 24 hours in my day, is very different than how it was when I was running the corporate rat race. So yeah, the positivity is huge. I wish I had found it many years ago. I would have had a lot less stress.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
It's difficult to communicate to somebody how beautiful and how serene and how much you just said the word stress, which I think let me just sum everything that I want to say up in how much less stressful it is to be home and be working from home and be involved in a team space, in a community with people who are constantly looking for solutions and looking to build you up, versus I think before you found this whole world, you were doing business to business sales. So it wasn't particularly that you were in the office, but were you always on the go, driving and meeting and reporting? And was that sort of what the style of what you were doing, which is pretty high stress, right?
Yes, I was on the road on average between 4 and 5 hours a day, driving. All my territory was quite large, but it wasn't even so much. I mean, that's stressful enough in itself. But when you're in a corporate environment, for some reason, I mean, I understand that the methodology behind it, but you are even in a sales environment, especially in a sales environment, I find you're pitted against each other to succeed.
Yeah.
And so you're working in a silo, and that can become very lonely. And it's very challenging when you're constantly pitted against each other in order to demonstrate how successful you are. When you come into a community where everybody is working together and genuinely wants you to succeed, what that does to your mental space and your stress level is unbelievable. I've never experienced anything like it. But one of the biggest reasons why I wish I had found it many years ago.
So we it's no secret. I mean, we have training programs, summer beginner level, 15-day challenge is an opportunity for somebody to come in and just get a taste. It's like an appetizer. It'll fill you up. It'll get you started. But if you want to take things to the next level, get serious, our blueprints are where people make big decisions to really get into the secrets, get into the system and follow a proven blueprint. So it's kind of interesting. When we help somebody enroll into that program, if it's a good fit for them, a lot of times when in typical sales environments, it's like, yes, got one, like caught one, like you're catching a fish and you're going to throw them in a bucket of ice. But here it's like a true celebration because we know that somebody just made a decision, a powerful decision to do something that they've never done before in their life. I mean, to really begin to build their dreams instead of the world's dreams or some boss that they hate's dreams. To me, that's one of the coolest parts about this, that every single time somebody enrolls and invests in themselves in one of our programs, it's sort of a big celebration company-wide. I even get on the phone and I shoot them a quick little welcome video and tell them how excited we are. How is that for you to help people make powerful decisions versus other things that you've like sold in the past? How is that just whole experience about how we advise our clients and help them to make decisions and find what's best for them? How has that been for you, that just whole experience? And I mean, if somebody's just getting started who's going through the 15-day challenge, what what, give them an idea of how that feels and kind of what I just said from your perspective.
That is absolutely the best part. When you are able, like now, I don't have to work. I get to work. I get to be able, it's a privilege and an honor for me to be able to help people see that they can absolutely change their lives. So yes, when someone enrolls in a program that we have that can totally change the trajectory of their life path, which Legendary did for me, it's so rewarding because I know from past experience not only what it did for me in my life, but what it's going to be able to do for them. And when I came in, I had zero marketing skills. Nothing. Like Andre was talking the other day about not knowing what a lead was, comparing it to fishing. I was quite similar. I mean, I knew what a lead was in my sales background, but effective copywriting, for example, no idea. So anyone can do it if you make the investment and you decide that you want to make a change in your life. It absolutely is a celebration amongst all of us because we know that you have just changed the life path. And if you put forth the effort, we can give you everything you need to make sure that, you can really be successful. It's so rewarding. That's the best part.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it really is. I think one of the reasons why in knock on wood, I hope for, like we all do, longevity, long, healthy life, all that. But I mean, over the past 10 years of me being in this business in missing out on the corporate gigs and the jobs that I was, because it's kind of funny when you say territories. I sold Xerox machines for a period of time. This was when I was too young to know my butt from a hole in the ground, and I had an old big Crown Victoria with, I'd put $5 in gas in it and drive it down. My territory was halfway on the other side of town, and I'm knocking on doors and I'm full of sweat, and that was back in the days to where I was struggling with addiction. So at the end of the day, what the reality of what my life looked like was I would go to the store and buy a big can of beer and get drunk every day because it was just so stressful. It was so, I was worried. I was down to my last penny. Every week I was living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't, I was trying to sell these huge machines that cost, $30,000 to churches who couldn't afford, it was just like, and I'm not saying that, those machines weren't needed. It was just the toll that was taken on me. So my point is, over the last 10 years, I feel like I've lived a lot happier life. I've just lived a lot happier life than the path that the system has laid out for us, and it sounds like, obviously, you mentioned your daughter. Did you go to university? I mean, was that did you kind of fall in line and buy into that whole, did you grow up around, what was your childhood like in terms of hearing about or the messaging that you were given? Because I think one of the big things that we have to deal with on a daily basis is the messaging and the stories that people have in their heads that they've been told their entire lives. And and then they get here, and we were talking about this on a team call yesterday. We have to carefront people. We don't confront people and be mean, but we carefront them and say, look, if you had the skills, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be looking for something different. So what was that messaging like that you've had to work on and turn around from your childhood? Did you grow up with that kind of, you just need to get good grades, stay in line, be kind of quiet?
Absolutely. I grew up in the typical environment. My father retired from the company that he worked for 40 years. Yeah. That's what you did. You went to school, you went to university, you got a degree, you stayed. My younger brother started his profession at a company when he was in college. It was what's called a co-op program. So during school, he is still there.
Wow.
And yes, I grew up in the environment where this is what you do. You don't sway from the norm.
Right.
So when I had made this decision to leave my 25-year corporate career, you can imagine everyone around me was like, what are you talking about? Why in the world would you do that? That's crazy. The internet, what? You've already done this and done that. But I knew that I absolutely needed to make that change. And the change in my lifestyle alone, and people who know me who have said, you are an entirely different person than you were before,
Yeah.
because I don't have to worry about the corporate environment anymore. Now I'm taking care of myself and taking care of, the people around me in a much different mind space than I ever was before. It was the greatest decision I ever made.
Good for you. And I remember when you said to me, I'm going to leave my job. I remember when you said that to me. And you can imagine that I've had a lot of people say a lot of things to me over the years, and I just have learned to just encourage and to listen and to believe in people, even if they don't believe in themselves, and to believe in them until they do believe in themselves, because I've had a lot of people do that for me along my journey. But you did it. And you've done it like many other people before, and many other people after you will do it and have done it. And it's just, I'm proud of you. I'm happy to have you here. I'm thrilled to have you here. You're an extension of who we are. You fit perfectly inside of our culture and our community. And if you guys have the chance to work with Bonnie and to learn from her experiences and be guided by her genuine, wise knowledge, then you're blessed. And I just feel like each one of you guys is drawn here for a special reason. I don't know what that is. I don't claim to be omnipotent and all knowing. I just know that like attracts like. And I also know what our values are here at Legendary. And I know that if somebody doesn't fit within those values, they quickly, it's sort of like it's just like a block that doesn't fit. It just eventually just falls out. And so you're so perfectly aligned with our values, and you just fit right in. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. I'm going to let you go and get back to doing what you do best. I'm going to get back to work as well. So thanks for coming on, and I'll talk to you real soon. Okay.
Thanks so much for having me, Dave. Have a great day. Have
All
a great
right.
day, everybody.
See ya.
Thanks.
All right, my friends. Well, that is it for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. I will see you back here tomorrow. Make sure to drop a comment. Let us know that you're tuning in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you have stuck around, we're going to do a free giveaway. We're going to give away something unique and valuable. If you like this post or this live, you leave a comment below and then you share it as well. We're going to pick a winner and we'll announce that winner down below in the comments. So we'll give you something that will be definitely valuable to your journey here in your online marketing career or your side hustle or wherever you're at in that. My hope and my wish and my dream for you is that if this is what you're doing, you're able to transition and go full board, full throttle, full time, and begin to live the life that you deserve, because you do. You deserve it. Each person deserves everything that this world has to offer them. But unfortunately, that's not how the world works. Some people have to be the people who are fit in the different areas of society. And the beautiful thing is you get to choose exactly where you fit in. You get to choose exactly what your destiny is. And just like Bonnie said, it's decisions that you make motivated by either something that you want or pain in your life that can change. And it can be small decisions or that end up being big. They feel small, like you're sitting on an order page right now and you're making a decision to enroll in our challenge. Or maybe you're going through our challenge and you're making a decision, do I want to take things to the next level and really get serious about this and be a part of our business blueprints? Like, that's where you take things to the next level. These decisions might seem small, or they might seem like something insignificant, but when you get to where you want to go and you look back, you realize, wow, that was the biggest thing I've ever done for myself. And each one of us who's had success in this business or as entrepreneurs have made those decisions, have made those commitments. It's not just you who've made uncomfortable decisions or commitments. It's all of us who have experienced success, had to make those decisions. Bonnie left her job. She invested in her education. She invested to develop her skill sets. She was curious enough to first search and then invest in herself, both time and money, to be able to learn the new skill set, to learn about this crazy, amazing, really not spoken of that much world of online marketing in the mainstream media and so forth. And then made the uncomfortable decision to invest in her, to leave her job, to invest in her future, right? So anyways, these decisions, no matter how small or big they are, when you get to where you're or they seem in the moment, when you get to where you're going, you look back and you say, that decision changed my life forever. But you can't get the change unless you make the decision. So my hope and my wish for you today is that you make a powerful decision that's in the best interest of you, okay? That's in the best interest of your future, your family's future. And know that if you do that inside of our community, in locking arms with us, that we'll be there to support you every step of the way. With that being said, be legendary, and I'll talk to you later.